My grandmother was very traditional, so she thought that Chinese food there'd be rats in it. Tomato soup has blood in it.
Yeah, just
so all this kind of rubbish.
Yeah, blotting paper in the kulfi is what I was
Yes,
told.
but that was true. There was blotting paper in the kulfi.
So do you enjoy cooking?
I do, but I need staff
Sure.
to do miso plus for me. Chop the onions, and I can cook. I hate the cleaning up and I hate the chopping. I really enjoy street food. In Muhammad Ali Road, Imambada Lane, on just pullaos.
Sure.
Okay. And the joy it gives me to see big handis being cooked. Like Bill Dal Ghosh is happening over there. I was at Wilson College and I went to you to read your name on the board to see if you passed or failed. And I had ducked. And the whole family, my mother, my grandmother, everybody standing in the window. Finally, I reached up there and before I went up, I said, this. I met Cyrus because of a play.
Yeah.
Yeah. He auditioned me, although he's like 8 years younger than me. I met Baman, my other good friend, through plays. So my closest friends came out of theatre. I still like the pizza from Haji Ali.
The layer of cheese, the ketchup or whatever it is.
Ketchup only, I think it is. And onions, raw onions and capsicum chopped. It's...
Today on the show, we're joined by someone who's just not a food lover, but also an incomparable storyteller, Kunal Vijaykar. You've seen him on Khane Mein Kya Hai and various other shows where his wit, wisdom and appetite have made us fall in love with food. Thank you, Kunal, for coming in. So you started off in advertising after you could not get through science.
So I always had a flair for drawing.
Okay.
Okay, and...
that's why architecture?
Yeah. Okay. So... Also, if I was to be completely honest, I had two role models that I could look up to. They're not role models. They're two people in the family who I could take examples from. One had become an architect and was extremely successful. Another was from the Institute of Applied Art, which is commercial art, as you call it.
Yeah.
Okay, and who was unfortunately a miserable failure. So when I'm making a decision, I'm not making a decision based on the course. I'm making a decision saying there are two artistic people. This form of art seems to be better, than this form of art. So I had chosen that. But when I couldn't complete that, so I went here. And then I realized that I joined a course which was a really good course. I mean, a good profession.
Yeah.
The course may have been a little...
Sure. Advertising, TV shows, movies, now a YouTube channel. How have you managed to stay so relevant over the years?
So one way to look at it is you're a jack of all trades and master of none. It just sort of happened, everything happened organically, nicely. I joined an advertising agency which had a strong theatre culture. The boss was Sylvester Dacuna, who was doing plays. Bharat Dabholkar worked in the agency. He was doing plays.
You just about scraped through the math and science exam in the 10th. No.
10th I did.
Yeah.
12th I didn't. Now many years later, you don't mind this. But at that point of time, when you've ducked your 12th standard,
life is over.
It's like shame. Your parents think you are useless, worthless. The family members around you are saying, "Ye kahan se aa gaya?" I lived at Chowpatty.
Yeah.
Okay, and the where Kobe is.
Yeah, of course.
So right across Kobe, there's a building and there's a T junction like this. Okay. Yeah. And T junction.
Yeah.
I was at Wilson College, and the only reason I was at Wilson College is because my mother knew the dean, the principal. Otherwise, I would never have gotten admission there also. And I went to you to read your name on the board to see if you passed or failed, and I had ducked. And I'm walking back, and the building is there, and it's starting to rain. Yeah. So I've got an umbrella, and the whole family, my mother, my grandmother, everybody standing in the window, looking to see. And this walk from Metro Motors to the end of that Shripant Bhavan, Sukhsagar, is a walk that I will never forget, because I didn't know what to tell them. And so finally I reached up there, and before I went up, I said, this... I seriously believe this, and it's all in retrospect. Okay? is that if you find something that you really enjoy doing, and if you work hard at it, and it, so on two parts. One, you work hard at it. Two, it comes naturally to you. You will make a success of yourself if you apply yourself properly to it, and it's enjoyable. JJ School of Art, at the end of the 5 years, it's a 5-year course. You get a degree, which is great. I'm a graduate from the Bombay University, and you are judged on 2 parameters. One is your marks, and the other, you do a campaign, an annual campaign, which is put up in an exhibition, and external people from the business and all come and evaluate.
It's a marketing campaign.
Advertising campaign.
Advertising,
full. So you choose a product, you work out the strategy.
Your choice.
Yeah, anything. You can do, and then you decide to render it and execute it.
Yeah.
And you put it up. And then a lot of people from the industry come. It's a hunting ground for new people, talent. And there used to be a genius art director, I think they've all retired, called Gopi Kukde, who you will remember. He did some of the most path-breaking campaigns in the 90s, including the Onida Devil.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So it was a small, hot shop of creativity, So he came out, and I was a big fan of his. So he came out and said, you should apply for the job of a writer instead of a visualizer.
Okay.
So I said, does that mean my designing is so bad that you prefer me changing my stream? So he said, no, the designing is all right, but your thought process is good. And in those days, advertising agencies were very weirdly structured, There was the copy department and there was the art department. And there was your sort of marketing, sales, what is called client servicing. So the copy department did all the ideation. And they actually would sit and design the ad and then send it down to the art department saying, design karo isko. Because the art department was full of Marathi speaking people from JJ. Whereas the writers were all English speaking.
Got it.
And this is relevant because Piyush Pandey has just passed away. And he actually brought the Indianness to advertising, which was originally run by people who spoke in English and had studied abroad and wrote lovely, beautiful copy in English and sent it down for translation. So there was a translation department. So you were not ideating in Indian languages.
Do you remember your campaign at all?
I do.
What was the campaign that got you selected?
It was food.
It
was on pork products of all things. Sausages and ham and this, that, and the other. And it was, and I'd chosen photography as my elective. So we had electives. You graduated in 3 streams: either illustration, typography, which is you take typefaces and lettering and do things.
Writing, but like the printing of the writing.
That's okay. This is typography.
Got it.
You've chosen a font, you figure out how to place it, spacing, etc. And the third was photography. And I just thought photography is easier. You got a camera, you take pictures, you have plenty, you don't have to fucking write down things. So I'd taken photos. So I'd done these really nice pictures of food. I'd sat at home and I'd cooked all this stuff and I'd taken pictures. There was plating and there was, so that was my campaign, and which had very clever headlines and things. So I think that's where Gopi Kukde saw the headlines.
Did you feel like you were in love with food then even?
I was.
Do you know how that started?
I think the love for food runs in the family. We had a very food-interested family. My grandmother, my grandfather, who I lived with. So my father passed away when I was very young. And we moved back to my maternal grandparents' home. And he was quite a sort of evolved and a man of worldly taste. He traveled a bit and all that. My grandfather, my mom's father. And he loved his food. So he would find recipes, whether they were European recipes or whatever, and he'd bring them home, and then he'd sit with my grandmother. He'd buy the ingredients, which were not available with the local kirana. He'd sit, and they'd experiment with food. My grandmother, you would come home at 4 o'clock, and she'd be baking cakes, and she'd be, lemon tarts and mayonnaise.
Even
then, yeah. So there was a culture. Also, we were a sort of large family, cousins and all that, and we went out nearly every weekend to to eat.
Which I think was rare then.
Rare. And there were only 4 or 5 restaurants we went to. There was Gaylord.
Of course.
There was another Talk of the Town, which is now Pizza
Pizzera,
by the Bay.
Yeah, Pizza by the Bay. Yeah.
And all the Churchgate Strip. There was Cambling across the road. There was Bistro and Volga. And there was Bombay's on Bridge Candy.
The other two I know.
Yeah. Bombay's was an Italian-run cafe.
Okay.
Where Amar Sons is.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
And it was run by an Italian couple.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Lovely coffee and pastries, just damn nice. And so we went out every weekend. And so unlike most people who know only their home food at that age, and I'm talking of the 1970s and 70s, how often did people go out with the children? And while my grandmother was fairly traditional, so she thought that Chinese food, there'd be rats in it.
So just
tomato soup has blood in it.
Yeah, just
so all this kind of rubbish.
Yeah, blotting paper in the kulfi is what I was.
Yes, but that was true. There was blotting paper in the kulfi.
Why was there blotting paper in the kulfi? I mean, that was the argument I used to keep having.
Very simple.
Like
because
street food.
If you want that cream to come on top, you need really good quality milk, which they will not use. Blotting paper, when it mixes into milk and soaks, it tastes like cream.
So 88, you start on this path. You do the school food-based thing. You get into writing. When you do these plays, was it like as a hobby, or like you guys were getting paid for it, or how was
we were getting paid for it.
Oh, okay.
75 rupees per show was the payment. We did a hobby. Deep inside somewhere, I always wanted to act.
Okay.
Yeah. We used to put up play. I did bits of theatre in school. We used to, my cousins, we play together. My cousins had a rather large house at Mahalakshmi, right near the temple. A 4-storied structure with basements and unused areas and all that. So we used to mock up plays. They also had an in-house carpenter who would make swords for you and make things for you, and you could, So there was a little thing of doing that, but I don't think because you brought up in a slightly middle class background, you want to know where your money is going to come from. And I couldn't imagine myself sitting outside Prithvi Theatre wearing a khadi kurta looking for work.
Yeah.
So I said, let that take a back seat. But when I joined this damn advertising agency, I was just thrilled that culture just sort of was flourishing in there.
And where did your break come from? How did you move from sort of behind the scenes to front off?
In my second or third year in the advertising agency, the big boss, Sylvester Dakuda, who's no more, but I consider my mentor in every way, including the way I write. He was doing a play. He wanted to cast somebody who could do a Marathi accent. And I could do a Marathi accent because I liked it, and I could, talk in that slightly, village way and whatever. So he said, will you do this one small role that is there? It was a review. It was a comedy review, you know, sketch comedy.
Yeah.
So I did it and we had a blast. I just loved the process. I met my best friends in theatre. We used to go out of the rehearsals, drink, do terribly jungly things, and it started. We did theatre for several days. I met Cyrus because of a play. Yeah. He auditioned me, although he's like 8 years younger than me. I met Baman, my other good friend, through plays. So my closest friends came out of theatre.
And in that moment, did you feel like you wanted to give up the writing part, or the writing part was still as exciting?
So I liked the writing part. I didn't like the advertising part, in the sense that when you get more and more senior, you start to you start needing to interact with clients.
Correct.
Where your job becomes less creative and more
sales.
Yeah, and you're constantly in battle with the client servicing team saying that, listen, why can't you go and sell this ad? I've written it. It's a great ad. Go sell it now. And they'd say, but why can't you come and sell it? Then I'd go, And sometimes you sell it, sometimes you can't sell it. But the idea of going and sitting in conference rooms with clients was just not something I would have sit in my room and write or design or, or ideate or write a film or whatever. So, and I realized that the acting work was going places. I'd started doing television. There was a sitcom that happened somewhere in that 94, 95 maybe, I don't know, which started paying me. I was getting paid per episode more than I was making in the whole month. So then I took a conscious decision to sort of go freelance, basically, instead of having a solid advertising job. And it was getting to me, the advertising and clients, and was getting to me slowly.
Was that a big move? Considering you said your mindset was to have a paycheck.
It was a big move, but big moves also fail sometimes.
Sure, that's why I ask.
It was a decision that I took at that point of time. I think largely because I was making really good money doing acting. And the advertising agency that I was in had stopped giving me joy.
Got it.
And so I made the switch.
That search for joy, is that the decision-making metric which helps you stay relevant?
It is. The search for joy is terribly important. To enjoy what you do is really, really important, because there's lots of things I could have done which could have been far more remunerative, but which I've opted not to do. One, out of laziness, because I only want to work so much and not stretch myself out. But two, out of just, I want to go home and be happy and,
I watch a lot of shows that relate to food, like a lot of us do on YouTube and so on and so forth. But I always find it fascinating when you were thinking of doing the column, or and then that led to the show, and we'll get to that. Did you ever feel like this is a little silly, just people listening to me or reading about me eating food without having that traditional background? Like, how did you think of not having like a cooking background or not being a cooking show?
See, everything I was doing was quite silly, okay?
Yeah.
My theatre was quite silly because I was doing only comedies. My writing was humor, so it was all very silly. I have never been ashamed of being silly. So I'm a big fan of being silly and stupid. Even when we used to write the week that wasn't, there were certain jokes which were completely koila.
But they, in a sense, make the show. At least for all of us, right? Like,
so I've been quite shameless when it comes to silliness. So no, I never thought of. But what I have never really liked to do or wanted to do is write a cookbook.
Okay.
Because I'm not a chef.
Yeah.
And I did write a cookbook finally because the publishers insisted I did it. But I was very reluctant to do it. I have never walked around on camera wearing a chef coat. Whereas a lot of people who are walking around wearing chef coats.
But do you enjoy cooking?
I do, but I need staff to do mise en place for me. Chop the onions, and I can cook. I hate the cleaning up and I hate the chopping.
Do you, and you said that's what your grandparents did. Is that the sort of cooking you do? Is it more replicating something you like, or is it more trying to figure out new stuff? What's the mindset when you're cooking?
It's replicating what I like. That's how my cooking started,
Okay.
It's butter chicken, which still remains one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah.
Okay? It sounds so bad, but butter chicken,
Yeah.
Okay. So we'd go to Gaylord and eat butter chicken. But I couldn't go there and eat unless my parents took me, and my grandparents took me out there. So if I wanted to eat it by myself, I couldn't afford to go to Gaylord and sit there and eat. So I said, why don't I try making this at home? Is it possible to make it at home? And I found a book, which was Balbir Singh Indian Cooking, but it was meant for Europeans. The book was written for Indian cooking for those in the West. Okay, so it was mild and all, it's saucy. So that's how I started, and my mom and my grandmother had no problem me fooling around in the kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
They were, do what you want to do. So I did a bit of cooking. I still can cook my own dinners if I need to, which I don't, but like fry a couple of eggs up or, I really enjoy street food. I really enjoy going out on the road. Yesterday I did an episode in, I know you're vegetarian, but in Muhammad Ali Road, in Imambada Lane, on just pulaus.
Sure.
Okay. And these really small, tiny places. And you don't realize that biryani is a big thing, but there is a pulao which people eat. Went to 3 places. Just joy it gives me to see big handis being cooked. Like dal ghosh is happening over there. Big rice and,
And the thing, so that's what I enjoy about the food shows.
It's also, you know, what television and food shows has done is it's MasterChef Australia had a
Yeah.
big hand to play in this.
Yes.
You know? They have made people more food interested.
Correct.
You know, what are the garnishes that you put? What is plating? What is, you know?
Even the base,
Yeah.
like how hard it is or how many hours you need to cook a dal makhani for
Correct.
to get it to the level that then you just go and you're like, oh, this is amazing.
And you go to Bukhara in the
Yeah,
ITC,
correct.
and that dal, the chula never goes off. It's
Yeah.
permanently on.
My favorite fine dine restaurant is Wasabi.
Okay.
Because that was my introduction, I feel, to food in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Because a lot of the food I ate before that didn't kind of blow my mind. Because pizza felt natural and, you know, Mughlai food just felt...
It's all there.
In many ways, when you're younger, I didn't even realize pizza wasn't Indian. Like, you kind of know it's not Indian, but it's just so common or so ubiquitous.
I still like the pizza from Haji Ali or Santosh Sagar.
Sukh Sagar, oh yeah. The layer of cheese, the ketchup or whatever it is.
Ketchup only, I think it is. And onions, raw onions and capsicum chopped. It's...
That was my first fine dine. The wasabi is highly fine dine in the traditional sense of fine dine, but it just...
No, it is. In the price point, it's extremely
price
fine.
point, yes, but
Extremely fine.
it's very quick and the food is Indianized in a sense now. Does nostalgia play a part in the food you like?
Yes.
Because it does for me. It does a lot
hugely.
for me. Yeah.
And as I said earlier, we were always going to the so-called fine dine restaurant. Gaylord's 40 years ago was a fine dine place.
Correct.
Eating lobster thermidor, which I would not order every weekend, but once a month you look at your grandfather and says, "Can I order the lobster thermidor, please?" You know, and he'd say, "Yeah, order it," you know, kind of thing.
Have you had the one on Singapore Airlines?
No, I haven't. They do a lobster thermidor on Singapore Airlines?
Again, I'm a little bit of a miles in aviation freak. I eat vegetarian food, but I like learning cool things about airlines and food and stuff like that. So it seems that if you fly first class there, they have a chef section and you can order your own food. And what all the websites talk about is that specific. So if you ever
the next time I head that way.
Yeah.
Actually, coming to think of it, I have flown Singapore Airlines only once, and that's too when I was going to Australia.
Correct.
Otherwise, most of my travel has been this side of the world, and then, you know, Thai Airways or Malaysian Airlines. Or, so Singapore is something I have not
and
flown
they have
at all.
some phenomenal street food.
Yeah. Singapore. And very well organized. Food has evolved in various parts, okay? One is street food has evolved. I'm not saying it's evolved for the better.
Okay.
But it has evolved, you know. You get... I went to Candid to shoot something on a street. And this famous panki, what is it in Swati snacks? Panki.
Yeah.
Panki that they do, which I quite liked in Swati snacks when I first ate it there. So there was one lady making that on the street.
Yeah.
And I was looking at her making it because I was shooting it. So I was like, "Kya kar raha hai tum?" and all that. No? So she opened up the leaf in which you steam the panki and then laid the batter on it and then suddenly was adding onion to it, corn, grating cheese on it, paneer. Why are you doing this to this panki? Vada paos now have mayonnaise in it, which I can't deal with.
I'm not a fan of mayonnaise in general, but...
I'm a great fan of mayonnaise in the right place. Like a chicken sandwich with mayonnaise,
makes sense.
A chicken roll with mayo is like, ooh, if the mayo is well made and nice. But you can't put it in a vada pav, man. And now they put anything in anything. Samosas, chocolate. And that is not evolution. That's ridiculous.
But that feeling on food, that mixing and matching, how far do you think that goes? How do you think people stand out? Because you meet so many of the street vendors, you meet so many of these guys that make food. What's your instinct? How can they stand out? What are the things that they should try to do?
See, I think it's largely consumer based. Okay?
Sure.
So I know that they say the Gujarati community is far more experimental in their food, and you'll see a lot of the Mexican food that came in is because of the Gujarati communities embracing that cuisine. You'll find that even pizzas, in a strange way, Indianized pizzas have come from there. They're all vegetarian. You don't see so much of experimentation happening with non-veg food.
Okay.
Where the only thing they do now is that they take chicken tikka and pour cream on it, which is, I don't know why, suddenly people think they are luxurious when they eat it. It doesn't taste all that good.
Have you had the pizza that made on a bhakri?
No, but is it Kalba Devi? Is that
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad, okay.
So there's a very famous, I think it's Jasubain, if you're ever in that part of the town. But she kind of, because whenever I go to Ahmedabad, everyone keeps insisting that
But is it good? Have you tried it?
I like all pizza.
Okay,
I am not a pizza snob. I will eat almost, my mother-in-law makes a great pizza.
No, I can take a slice of toast,
Correct.
put tomato ketchup on it.
Love it.
With capsicum and cheese, Amul cheese, put in the oven
And it
and
hits
eat it.
a spot because that's a lot of the pizza I ate
Exactly
growing
that.
up, because that was what was there, mixed some stuff.
Exactly that.
The only thing I'm really a snob on is Asian cuisine.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit of a sushi snob.
Okay.
I haven't been able to develop a palate for some of the catering sushi, and I'm vegetarian sushi, so anyway I am. Yeah.
See, Asian food
Yeah.
in India is, again, you'll notice, you take the thickness of a Thai curry in Thailand and the thickness of a Thai curry in Mumbai.
Correct.
You'll see that we don't like thin curries.
Correct. Which is not.
It's not, you find everything is far overspiced. It's too.
I feel like even the tempura batter is almost a vada.
It's almost a vada.
Yeah.
And they will give it to you with
or a
spicy
pakoda.
mayo,
Like it's a pakoda. Yeah.
It is a pakoda. So we've Indianized it, largely.
That, for me, that cuisine not necessarily for the better.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's a tricky question, okay? I have to, as a Democrat and an egalitarian, keep an open mind about whatever happens in food.
Yeah, 100%.
People have asked me this question 100 times. What about the authenticity of food? And I keep saying that there is no such thing as authenticity in food.
Of course not. I agree with that, by the way.
Because if you just take your ghar ka khana,
Correct.
go back 3 generations, what your grandmother cooked, the same dish, will never taste the same like the way your mother does it now.
I mean, my cook at home gets extremely upset because the health standards of my ghar ka khana are significantly higher than the restaurants.
There you go.
And so he said, listen, if you let me put that much butter, I will also make it like that. What is your thought on sort of the evolution of young people in terms of the healthiness of the food they're eating as it pertains to your channel? Do you think that becomes critical? Kind of, do you think street food will have that challenge in terms of people asking where the ketchup comes from or how much sugar is there in that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think healthiness, and while it's growing, it's limited to a certain section of society only. A lot of the street food caters to all sections of society. Like, I have not yet found a roadside stall selling you baked vada pav or anything that remote. I don't know how that is healthy, but
that's a separate debate. But it's perceived to be.
It's perceived to be healthy.
Yeah.
So I think street food, let it be. You eat less of it. My thing about even oily food is that if you think that less oil is going to change the taste of what you're used to, just don't eat too much of it. Eat portion control.
That is. I think some of the food is so good. I think portion control, if people can figure out that, that is one of the banes of, I think, most people's existence.
I try to do portion control because I can't stop eating anything. I still want to eat a nihari which is floating in oil and something that is deep fried.
And a lot of the channels, a lot of the restaurants that are on the channel, a lot of the restaurants that you visit have a lot of history behind it.
Yes, including street vendors.
Is that something that you enjoy? The fact that you get the story behind the food, is that?
I do.
So how do you find these places? What's the process like?
Okay, so there are various processes, okay? One is through my memory. Whatever I remember people having spoken, there are people who tell you, go try this place, go try that place. Social media is fabulous today. I just go into YouTube or I go onto Instagram and I say, Pulao place in Madanpura. and 3 things will come up. I think I have by now the ability of being able to look at food on a video and telling you whether it's good or not.
Worth your time.
Then you go and try it,
Yeah.
or you send somebody to try it, somebody you trust, and then this is the way we do it. In the old days when we traveled,
Yeah.
because the show was on a news channel, news channels have stringers all over the country.
Correct.
Local news
guys,
collectors. Yeah. So we would connect to this fellow in say Banaras and say ki just
Kha ke aao.
tell me, because see, just journalists, small journalists who are planted in different parts of the country are very local. They know exactly where to go and get what. So that would help, So that is what it is.
And you think you would be doing this if it wasn't for the show anyway? Like, is this something that would have come naturally to you?
It would have come naturally. I love eating on the streets. I really do.
As you've traveled the country, any spaces that you feel have hit the spot in a way that it just kind of, you're like, this, I have no idea how they did this? Or like
on
any
my travels
cities?
abroad or
Here, in India.
In
India.
Yeah, I have.
Sort of your version of the 3 Michelin star, make a journey to eat this this street food.
So there's lots actually. Okay, take Rajasthan for example.
Yeah.
Take Jaipur, kachoris.
Yeah, correct.
On the road, in small stalls, or mirchi vadas.
Yeah.
Just spectacular. The idea itself, of a large chili which has been stuffed with batter fried, is superb. You take the pani puri, or the puchka, or the golgappa. Conceptually think about it.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Okay, you've got a crispy, blown up puri which you make a hole in. You put some aloo, moong, whatever, a sweet chutney, and then you dip it in water which is flavored and have it. Just think about it as an idea,
It's also such a customizable dish.
Absolutely. Thoda tikka karo, cheez zyada kam.
Me eating pani puri at home is some of the most overeating I do.
Okay.
Because I'm not a very neat person, but when it comes to pani puri, I'd like to not have anything left.
Okay.
And so that process, I'm like, oh, now I have a little this left, so I'm just going to have a little more this and 2 more puris. So that process of trying to essentially make sure I make the perfect pani puri, which invariably someone will look at it and be like, okay, I'm just going to take this, you make another one for yourself. And to you, how do you think the food delivery stuff, does it help these guys? Does it harm these guys?
Savior.
Are you excited? Like, you a snob that you should only eat at the restaurant? Or
No. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And I'm very happy with delivery. I mean, I can sit at home and order I can order, if I've got 2 people coming over, I can order a meal from 6 restaurants.
I love it.
Okay. I don't need to go to one place and parcel from here.
So I saw your pizza review thing, the latest one. And it's really funny because we had 20 people over a couple of weeks ago at home, just a bunch of friends that come down from Dubai with their kids and everything. And we ordered pizza from those 3 places.
There you go. See?
And I'm like, I really like East 7. My daughter's like, I just want Ray's because she's used to Ray's.
She got from Ray's.
So I said, okay, get Ray's, get East 7, get a little bit of Bene, and we put everything together.
Bene also is fabulous, man.
Great pizza.
Roman square pizza.
Great pizza. As I kind of wind down this, what are the kind of things that you feel you haven't been able to eat in Bombay? Like, what are the cuisines you hope we kind of push up a little bit, whether street food or otherwise? Or what are the kind of cuisines that you hope we can get right from the street food standpoint? What's on your bucket list?
My bucket list is, I'm extremely fond of Indian food.
Okay,
I think it's one of the greatest cuisines in the world. And because there is no such thing as Indian food.
So I was just going to say, are you referring to kind of the North Indian?
I'm referring to the whole of India. The greatest thing that is going to happen in the near future is that we are going to go regional with our food. We're going to start appreciating regional cuisines. Okay, you think about it, the food cooked in, say, Kashmir is nothing like the food cooked in Kerala.
And we're so happy for it.
And it's all Indian food. Yeah.
It's like our music.
Absolutely.
Like you can listen to Bacha and you can come in and have someone do Assamese tribal music
Absolutely
and
correct.
play the sitar and
Yeah. And that has to be discovered, explored, promoted. All state governments should be, besides promoting their monuments,
Yeah.
should be promoting their food.
and it's such a great cultural
Yeah.
sequester. And
Yeah.
like if you just look at avocado,
Yeah.
like one, everyone started eating it, but B, it helped the economy.
Yep.
Because everyone started importing avocado and everyone realized and now they grow it here. So what's the one state that you think is heavily underrepresented? That like
The Northeast,
okay,
large parts of the Northeast
Okay.
are heavily underrepresented.
other than momos.
Other than momos, which also
Yeah.
come from Darjeeling, or God knows where they come from. Tibet.
Yeah.
States like Madhya Pradesh, Bihar. Bihar, do you know anything about Bihari food?
I do not.
There. I'm not an expert
Yeah.
either, you know, but I know there are a couple of dishes that I've tried are fabulous and I want to explore more. I haven't traveled to
Yeah.
Bihar for food with the show. Maharashtra has, we only in Mumbai know about Malwani cuisine
Yeah.
or Gomantak food.
Yeah.
But there is Satara food, there is Vidarbha food, there is Kolhapur food, there is, you know, so it's so varied. There are different varying amounts of coconut used in various things. Your souring agents are different, your spices are different.
Even something as simple as bindi.
There you go.
I love different ways of cooking. It's the same thing, but it's
I was in
so
Goa.
different.
I was in Goa and I stopped at this, I was shooting
Yeah.
at this really local Hindu Goan place. Yeah. And they did bhindi, which they have this unusual bhindi, which is big
Okay.
and it's slightly tough. It's not the soft sort of,
Yeah.
you know, and they chopped and cooked with prawn. And it was, and I don't like bhindi.
Yeah.
It's just,
That feeling, that's what you always want when you go to a place to eat, right? You go to a street food place, and that I feel still only comes from street food. That feeling
does,
of it was
yeah.
just
I can't imagine any restaurant being able to add that to the menu.
it's difficult.
Yeah. Because there is no customer for it, there's no client for it.
Yeah.
But there is scope to do this, you know, because our cuisine is so varied and so fabulous.
Yeah.
Indian food. I mean, there is, maybe China is the only other country which has so much of variety in their cuisine, you know, but
And they're, because they've spent so much time being a monolith,
yes,
and in many ways we're the antithesis, we should
we've
celebrate our
embraced,
food.
we've embraced.
We've embraced everything. We should celebrate our food.
I mean, look at Parsi food, for example, okay? There are influences from everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sasni Machi has got bechamel sauce in it, which is the influence of the Europeans.
Yeah.
The dhansak is dal cooked with, it's got nothing to do with Iran.
I mean, the vada pav itself.
There you go.
The vada pav itself is sort of a
Yeah.
combination of Portuguese and
The pav.
yeah.
I mean, we don't think of it, but aloo came 300, 400 years
It's
ago.
not ours.
Yeah, it's not ours. Nothing is ours. The chili is not ours.
Correct.
So,
And we're all the
brinjal
better
is
for
ours
it.
though. Yeah, brinjal is ours though.
On that note, Kunal, thank you so much.